E.N.D here. Today we're going to talk about another card that is spiking in price. I'm talking about Heroic Intervention. Heroic Intervention, a rare card, a 2 and 1 green rare instant card from Ether Revolt. Prevent, permanency control, gain, hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Why this card is spiking in price and what value does this card hold in the future? First of all, Heroic Intervention is a card from, let's say, not very old set, but a set that it's now. I'm talking about Ether Revolt. And let's see, Ether Revolt, when it was released, we're talking about 2017, that is more than 2 years ago. When you have sealed products like Ether Revolt, that even though they are old, 2 years old, which is not a lot for sealed product for Magic the Gathering, even though these are 2 years old, these are out of print, these are out of standard. When you have these type of products, when you have products like Ether Revolt that has inventions in it, these boxes, they are quite expensive nowadays. We're talking about $160 to $200. When you have these type of products and you have a format like Pioneer, then it's not a surprise that you have these type of cards that are very good, they are very strong, not overpowered, this card is not overpowered, just give you an advantage, when playing. It's not a surprise that you have these type of cards and they spike in price. So let's take a look at the history of the price of this card. When this card was released, this card was being traded at around $1 to $2. It was a very cheap price, it was a very cheap card. No one was playing it in standard, no one wanted to play it in standard, and really and truly, even at that time, I didn't see any play in standard for Heroic Intervention. Then what happened? Obviously, this card was seeing play in Commander, and we see that the card was spiking in price. Also, this card saw a little bit of play in certain standard decks, and the card was spiking in price and reaching at a maximum of $6 to $7. Something that obviously, this is the natural price value for every card. After rotating out, the price of the card dropped in price. It reached a maximum of $5. Then all of a sudden we saw a big spike in price. We saw that big spike in price with the release of War of the Spark, because this card was pairing perfectly in Commander. And now we see another spike. Here there's another spike after Throne of Eldraine, not because it's pairing with some cards in Throne of Eldraine, but only because after Throne of Eldraine we had the Pioneer announcement, the new format in Magic the Gathering, the new format that in reality is taking a lot of players playing this format. There's a lot of fun, there is a lot of way of building decks in Pioneer, and this card is a very, very strong card in that format. Therefore, even though it's a rare card from a set that is not that old, we're talking about 2 years, we're seeing that the price of this card is being currently traded at around $15, $14.42. And I'm sure, considering that this set is out of print, considering that few boxes are being opened from Ether Revolt, I'm sure that Heroic Intervention, here it is, this is my personal copy, I'm sure that this card will continue to spike in price. Obviously, unless it gets banned. Now, this is, as I said, the normal rare card, the normal price for the rare card. We're seeing the same trend in the foil. Really and truly, when I was searching the price of Heroic Intervention, I'm more in the normal cards than the foils. I thought that the foil card would be more expensive than the normal card. Usually, a foil card is usually twice as much the price of the card. But currently, Heroic Intervention, it is being traded at around $20, which is $5 to $6 more than the normal non-foil card. And that means only one thing. A lot of people want to buy this card to play it in Pioneer, to play it in Commander, and therefore they don't want the foil version and they prefer the non-foil version. The non-foil version usually is it's much cheaper, and therefore you see a trend in towards non-foil versus foil. So in this case, the relationship or the ratio between the foil and non-foil is quite smaller when you consider certain foil versus non-foil cards of other rare and mythic cards. As a conclusion, Heroic Intervention, in my opinion, I think it will see more spike in price. It's a card that is not opened anymore. I don't see a lot of Ether Revolt boxes being opened. This is my personal sealed box of Ether Revolt. I don't have any intention of opening this box. Considering that Ether Revolt is not opened anymore, and considering that the card is quite strong in Pioneer and both Pioneer and Commander, I think the price of this card, especially non-foil, will continue to go up in price. Obviously until or it gets bent or it is reprinted in a future special set. You can leave me a comment below. What do you think about this card? What do you think about Heroic Intervention? If you think that this card will get a ban or will get a future reprint in a secret layer or a special product, and here the subscription button, subscribe for my channel for more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.